Have you ever forgotten to turn your microphone on before you record a voiceover for a video? Well, I did, and that's what I just did. But we are here with myself and the infamous ODB, Old Dirty Biker. He's in the gearing, I'm at the daring, and we are the cats among the pigeons. If you're an American, it's probably like saying that the fox is in the hen house, if you're one of those farmy type of people. But either way, there is going to be blood and feathers everywhere in this one. Looking at the team sheet, there's a couple of Shimas out there, and there's a few Yamatos and Montanas. So kind of coming into this game, we're thinking there's a lot of people trying to tick off the last few boxes for their legendary mods. One of them obviously involves Japanese battleships of tier 7 or higher, but I'm guessing not a lot of people have progressed up that chain because there are better tech tree battleship chains than the Japanese ones, and I think everybody kind of sticks to those. That means that a lot of people only have the Yamato to play, and Yamatos have a lot of hit points, and they are fat and they are slow. That means with two destroyers in division, with lots of torpedoes and lots of guns, we are going to get out there and we are going to make them rue the day that they decided to hang back and wait and see what was going on. It's great that the Yamato has such big guns and has such a long reach on those guns, but when you're out in the middle of the map and you've got nobody to defend you, it is fish in a barrel. And we are going to make the most out of this. I know that I always say that you should spot, capture and kill in a destroyer. This game, we were just out for some fun. So we are doing the first bit, which is spotting, because it looks like the rest of the team are doing their bit in the capturing. We are in the centre. We're going to play the centre, and if needs be, we will go out to a flank and support a flank if we think that they need support on a capture point. But for now, with all these juicy targets laid out in front of us, it is the last supper. These guys are going to wish that they had moved sooner. I have never had it so easy, and to be honest, yes, it does feel a little unfair. I understand that everybody wants to have the legendary mods, but by the same measure, everybody who has the legendary mods has had to play for them, and they have had to put themselves through similar instances where they are playing with everybody else in similar ships to try and get those 10 kills, to try and get those top 3s. And for people like me, for people like ODB, we like our destroyers, and so we are going to get out there and we are going to hunt, because the good thing about those legendary mod missions is you don't have to be on the winning team. So if anything, instead of sitting back, perhaps be a little bit more aggressive in your play instead of waiting for things to come to you. We haven't waited for anything to come to us. We have gone out to get the things that would come for us later in the game. The good thing is, at the start of the game, everybody is pretty much clustered up, and that means it is easier to keep a number of targets spotted and a number of targets in range all at the same time. I just can't believe that there are so many hit points just floating around here to be taken. I'm doing the spotting while ODB is in a smoke. That Montana is trying to run him down. I pop a set of torps out at that Yamato, and I'm looking at the Montana and where he is at in relation to ODB, but I push a little bit too far forward and get myself spotted, so I have no option but to pop a smoke, and that means that ODB can no longer see that Montana. But thankfully he goes down to a torpedo. Now this next Yamato is going to take 3, I think. 1, 2, 3, 4. No, he takes 4 with a triple flood. And is that ticking? Yeah, that's ticking. But we lose sight of him again. We're going to stay on it though. We're just going to keep blind firing. He's fired at us. That means we can see him. So let's stay on it. There's a fire. He is done and dusted, but I know that my smoke is running down very, very soon. I'm not running Smogathon on this at the moment. I'm running Unstoppable, because if your engine gets knocked out, you've still got some movement, and that does help. But one of the things that is out here that is still sailing around without taking a hit is a Worcester, and he is there on the south side of the right cap on the minimap. And both the big ships that were on that side are kind of taking the long way around, so haven't got shots on them. But there, look, that Worcester is certainly putting shots out on me, so I am going to try and vacate the premises of this smoke screen while staying undetected by that Yamato and get the hell out of Dodge, but not before we think he might turn in a little bit. So let's get that last set of torpedoes out there. And this is one thing I don't understand, right? You look at the first set of torpedoes and they have got a huge bucktooth gap in them. It's a 5 spread, yet the second set of torpedoes is an absolutely equal 5 spread of torpedoes. So I find it difficult to understand how that can happen, but I've seen it happen many, many times, and on occasion it has given me the opportunity to slip through a gap and not get killed by a wall of skill. But that guy had already fixed his fires. I've survived being lit up on radar by that Worcester. We pop a smoke to drop detection, and then we pop a few shots off back in his general direction. He gets lucky, getting us on a fire, but landing a salvo on him, I pick up a high caliber at just over 185,000 damage. We land a fire on him, and I don't think he realizes that there is a destroyer out to his front. I'm obviously on this side of him. His only option is to kite, but there are 2 big battleships coming round on that left flank. The guy out on the right was low health. He is pretty much going to disappear. We're not going to get him into gun range, but we do lose a Yamato to the Shimikaze out there. That Shimi's having a run of luck. Yeah, he's not really any risk to us. But there's a double widespread of torpedoes, I think, from our Shimi. Worcester takes a hit, and with a smoke screen coming up soon, I decide that I can afford to pop a few shots off at this Worcester, as one of the battleships takes a welly at him as well. But this is just going to be rubbing salty tears into his wounds as we take out the Worcester as well. 193,150 damage. And now we are going to play for the capture point. There is one Shimikaze left. We know that he was last seen way out there on C cap, so that means that the guys across on our left side at the moment can sail into that cap uncontested and take it. We are very much well ahead on points, and both ODB and I have done our service in smacking those battleships around as much as we possibly could. Flanking from both sides, torpedoes from both sides, leaving those guys nowhere to turn. And if they did turn, then they were going to be taking full salvos from our battleships as well. Now that Yamato there, sadly, he's made the right decision. He's coming away from that cap, but he's going to make an unfortunate decision, and he's going to turn back towards it. A cap is turning red again. That means that the Shima has gone back in there, and there he is. Sorry, not A cap, C cap. and he's going to turn straight into those Shima torps. That's unfortunate because we were only a few points from winning. But because that Shima is not going to get himself spotted again and runs away off the cap, we'll fast forward this bit at 8 times the speed and come up as the clock ticks through to the 1,000 points and gives blue team the victory. And it was a nice, fun victory with lots of torpedoes and lots of big ships to take care of. We only end up with 2 kills, 193,000 damage and a high caliber and a cap assist. And strangely, well, I say strangely, I do get top spot, and I think that only comes from the cap, and ODB finishes 8th, which I can only think is because everybody else on the team was near the caps for that one. But it was a bit of a fun torpedo fest against all those big fat battleships out there. I hope you've enjoyed it. It was a fun one for us both to play. Stick around, smash the like button, leave me a comment, and hit one of these links and watch another video. Don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already, and take care of yourselves. And until next time, goodbye.